Hello, today we are going to see about H-type questions. How do you approach solving problems? How do you stay motivated during challenging times? How would you describe your communication style? How do you prioritize tasks in your daily life? How do you handle stress and pressure? How do you express your creativity? How do you maintain work-life balance? How do you set and achieve your goals? How do you foster collaboration in a team? How do you deal with setbacks and failures? How do you make decisions under uncertainty? How do you stay organized in your personal life? How do you adapt to change? How do you build and nurture relationships? How do you approach learning new skills? How do you celebrate your achievements? How do you handle conflicts in your relationships? How do you practice self-care? How do you maintain a positive mindset? How do you manage your time effectively? How do you stay focused on your priorities? How do you seek continuous improvement? How do you show empathy to others? How do you handle success? How do you set boundaries in your personal and professional life? How do you foster creativity in your work? How do you overcome challenges in your career? How do you build resilience in the face of adversity? How do you stay updated on industry trends? How do you contribute to a positive work environment? How do you approach networking and relationship building? How do you incorporate feedback for personal growth? How do you handle multitasking and prioritize tasks? How do you define and measure success in your life? How do you cultivate a growth mindset? How do you make decisions in a team setting? How do you find inspiration for your work? How do you manage your energy throughout the day? How do you handle uncertainty in the future? How do you stay curious and open to new ideas? How do you approach learning from mistakes? How do you nurture your mental and emotional well-being? How do you balance short-term and long-term goals? How do you create a positive impact in your community? How do you stay connected with friends and family? How do you contribute to a collaborative team culture? How do you cultivate a sense of purpose in your life? How do you foster innovation in your work? How do you handle ambiguity in decision-making? How do you continuously improve your skills and knowledge? Next one is: how many? How many countries have you visited? How many languages do you speak? How many books do you read in a month? How many siblings do you have? How many hours of sleep do you get on average? How many pets do you have? How many cups of coffee or tea do you drink daily? How many close friends do you have? How many social media accounts do you actively use? How many concerts have you attended? How many hours a week do you spend exercising? How many times have you moved in your life? How many vehicles have you owned? How many jobs have you had so far? How many countries would you like to visit in the next 5 years? How many hours a day do you spend on your favorite hobby? How many pieces of technology do you use daily? How many pairs of shoes do you own? How many movies do you watch in a month? How many goals do you set for yourself each year? How many hours a week do you spend on personal development? How many social events do you attend in a month? How many photos do you take in a typical week? How many close family members do you stay in touch with regularly? How many online courses or workshops have you taken? How many close colleagues do you have at work? How many hours a week do you spend volunteering? How many cups of water do you drink in a day? How many pieces of art do you own or display in your home? How many times have you faced a major life change? How many days a week do you cook your own meals? How many hours a week do you spend in nature? How many close neighbors do you know by name? How many days a week do you set aside for relaxation? How many different types of cuisine have you tried? How many marathons or races have you participated in? How many projects do you typically have on the go? How many times have you been recognized for your achievements? How many new skills have you learned in the past year? How many close friends from childhood do you still keep in touch with? How many times have you faced a fear and overcome it? How many times have you been a mentor or mentee? How many times have you changed your career path? How many times have you volunteered for a cause you believe in? How many personal goals have you achieved in the past year? How many different types of music do you listen to regularly? How many different places have you lived in your lifetime? How many times have you taken a spontaneous trip? How many people have you helped in a significant way? How many times have you pushed yourself out of your comfort zone? Remaining age questions would be discussed in the next video. Thank you.